All right, let's see if this is any better here. Maybe hide this so I'm not looking at my face while I'm talking. All right, now I can look at the camera and hopefully this isn't weird. Uh, Hi, this is for me to kind of get used to talking in front of people, or at least the camera, not really people at this point. Maybe at some point, people? Meh, who knows? So, what's been going on lately? I've been playing a bit of Hades. Been enjoying that game quite a bit. Uh, my wife and we stream it every Monday and Friday, or not it specifically, just doing streaming something every Monday and Friday. Just happens to be what we're doing right now. It's been pretty fun. Nice game to kind of watch and play. So get a little bit of both worlds there. Even got a little bit of what's the word? Audience involvement. And the last time we were playing, I talk a bit about how true the game actually is to kind of Greek mythology. I was talking with some folks just about like you expect a game to kind of start. Some of them will use likenesses for the purpose of using likenesses. It's like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna flip a coin, and this time it happened to be Greek mythology, and the other time it might have been like Norse mythology, and people just use it to be like, oh yeah, people get it. They like seeing Zeus. Let's put Zeus in the game. Is he actually acting like Zeus? Well, who even knows? What's kind of nice about Hades, though, is it kind of gets it. You can tell that they did a fair amount of kind of legwork on what these Olympians actually like acted like in writing. So if you have looked into Greek mythology, you know that the stories that they're built off of are extremely based in sort of human behavior and generally kind of single traits of people to a flaw in a lot of ways. So a lot of the gods, the Olympians and chthonic gods, they'd be just the embodiment of like one thing and take it to its natural like really good places and its natural really bad places too. So and the game doesn't shy away from that. And they're all like just super fickle and petty. Like they'll put you in rooms where you have to choose one of two of the Olympians to take a like a gift from, a boon they call it in the game. And it doesn't matter whichever one you don't choose just gets really mad at you until you like clear a room of enemies, and then they're always like, I don't even know why we were fighting, we're cool, and then just let you keep going because that's how the gods were. It's how the all of the Olympians were. They'd get in each other's faces, do stuff with each other occasionally. Most of the time they're feuding with each other. They're just really powerful, and they use their powers for one to help humans and the others to just get in each other's way. It feels like a lot of their stories are just kind of based in messing with each other in a lot of ways, and the game does a pretty good job with that, honestly. So it's kind of cool running into them and seeing them interact and always talking behind each other's backs. And when they see like you already got a boon from somebody, the other will hear you talking about them or hear the other one talking about them, and they'll just kind of like, oh geez, sorry, didn't mean to say it about you. Yeah, nope, you're actually great. I didn't say anything bad. Nope, I didn't. And then just carry on their merry way. So it was a nice way to see that. Like it's not just using them and being like, oh, okay. But it's kind of funny, like if you think about like godlike beings and you see that in the game without knowing like how they actually were, you might actually think it's kind of a what's the word, a novel thing to be like, oh, well, instead of this time, they didn't just make them all strong and noble and stuff like that. They made them really almost kind of dumb in some ways, but that is just the the truest form of them. So it kind of appeals to kind of two audiences there. People who are used to seeing them and be like, oh yes, and all this glory and noble stature and valor and such. And you're kind of presented with this other, more human aspect of the Olympians, which is, like, as I mentioned, that's what they're based off of. Just being kind of so solely single characteristically human to a fault. So that's been kind of fun seeing how that pans out, and we'll probably be playing a bit more of that, getting close to kind of the end of the collectathon and getting a bunch of stuff to kind of just do the various things that you can do in the game. Probably keep going back to it for a bit. Like, gameplay is pretty solid, but kind of going through all of the character interactions, all that depth was kind of the joy there, all the kind of what was fueling all of the going back and doing all the gameplay. So probably moving on to something else, maybe not like immediately, but in the near future. But until then, it was a pretty solid thing. So yeah, well, that's probably enough to kind of chat about here. For this one, just kind of, again, like I said, practicing talk in front of things. They happen to be about Hades, and maybe we'll talk more about it. Think maybe more about kind of how is the game, writing style, characters, things like that. Who knows? These things are just going to be kind of whatever's on my mind. So yeah, and we'll call it at that. Peace.